Hello everyone, and welcome to part 1 of my Spongebob games. I'm looking at part 1 of 5 anyway, and I know what you're thinking, Spongebob, what the hell? Well, you see, a lot of my fans seem to be interested in 3D platformers, and I just wanted to look at this game, or Spongebob games, because I grew up with these games. And the game we're looking at is Spongebob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman for the PS2, released in like 2001. Now, this is the first Spongebob game I ever played, but I played for like 20 minutes at a friend's house on the GameCube, and really, I don't remember anything about it. So, let's start with the story. The game starts out with SpongeBob being SpongeBob when he finds this treasure, and he opens it up with the Flying Dutchman inside, and all of his doubloons go on a loose. Because of this, the Flying Dutchman wants to take Gary and make him part of his crew, and takes him. So SpongeBob tries to figure out how he can stop him. He learns through the course of the game that if he finds all of the Dutchman's items like glasses, socks, etc., he can stop the Flying Dutchman. The story just really goes on pause for 90% of the game. Except the final part, obviously. After you finish a level, one of SpongeBob's friends gets captured by the Flying Dutchman. And once SpongeBob gets all the items, he goes to the Flying Dutchman's lair where he saves everyone and defeats the Flying Dutchman. The end. What did you expect? The story is obviously going to be really basic because it's like a freaking SpongeBob game. And it's fine for that. There's nothing really wrong with it. Like, I guess it's just fine. I mean, the story is pretty much on pause for most of the game. It doesn't really matter at all. So, story aside, how does this game play? It plays exactly how you would think an early 2000s SpongeBob game would play. It's a 3D platformer. SpongeBob can jump, high jump, glide. That's pretty much it. It's one of those collect-a-thon 3D platformers, so basically it's a lot like Banjo-Tooie, but not as much like Banjo-Tooie, where you collect a lot of stuff, basically. That's it. There are a few things you look for. The main objective of the game is to find these letters that spell SpongeBob's name, so SpongeBob. These letters can be collected through a number of different ways. In every level there is a number of coins and jellyfish, or doubloons, or whatever. You have to get enough of each to earn a letter each. So enough coins, usually around 250, will get you a letter. And I don't remember how many jellyfish, but enough. The other letters are earned through doing tasks or getting to a certain part of the level. In this game, there are 7 levels total. The first and main level is Bikini Bottom, which is basically just the hub world and has some trivial tasks like helping Mr. Krabs and getting used to the game. The next level is Downtown, where you have to deliver food to people and go to a construction site. Nothing really interesting, but there's a lot of platforming. The third level is Jellyfish Fields, where 85% of the time you're just platforming and catching jellyfish. The fourth level is Lagoon, which has a lot of water, confusing platform, and takes forever to finish. The fifth level is Sandy's Treehouse, which is small, easy, and boring. The sixth level is Chumma, which is probably the most annoying, but the best level in the game, just because it's got a lot of variety, carnival stuff, and plankton. The seventh and final level is the Dutchman's lair, where it is extremely repetitive, and all you have to do is just find the pirate's booty and take it back to him, and that's it. But luckily, it's not more than 20-25 minutes. After that, you have a final boss with the Flying Dutchman. The boss with the Flying Dutchman is so pathetically lame, so stupid, and awful that it's just a joke how stupid it is. I mean, just look at it. It's horrible. But really, what did you expect? Now to talk about the main thing you'll be doing in this game, which is getting these items. SpongeBob has 5 suits to get the items. He has his regular, where he can't really do anything, but it has the best music in my opinion. There's his jellyfishing outfit, which allows him to catch jellyfish and has annoying music. There's the mermaid suit, which allows him to throw water balls and glides the best. His reef blower suit allows him to blow air on stuff and get it moving. Now, all of these sound pretty lame, but they're actually pretty cool and implemented pretty well. You just go in this tent and then you can choose it once you find it. The sixth suit is this treasure suit that you go in after you find all the letters, and really it's just a metal detector to find the treasure chest that you're looking for, which will have one of the Dutchman's items, like his sock. Once you get it, once you complete these easy tasks, I guess, and get all the letters, bam, it's yours. And then you'd go into this puzzle thing where you have to make a puzzle, and that's piss easy also, so bam, you've got yourself the whatever you're looking for. That is pretty much everything about the gameplay. Now to talk about the bad. The controls in this game on a PS2 controller are pretty clunky. They can be extremely sluggish at times, and at most they're just okay. The next problem is the load time. Each load time is around 10 to 14 seconds. So that's not, you might say that's not that bad, but they're everywhere. And I mean everywhere, every little area to the next. 12 or so seconds in between, everywhere. But now for the main problem. The main problem with the game is that these tasks just are not exciting. Like, to be honest, majority of them are just flat out boring. Now, they aren't the worst fetch quests ever, or quests, missions, whatever they are. They're just not that good. Like, you may have noticed how I really have not mentioned any of the quests at all, or missions, or whatever it is, but they're just not that exciting. They're just, most of them are boring. Now, compared to like Star Fox Adventures or Banjo-Tooie, these are just lame. I mean, you might say, oh, it's not fair to compare Spongebob, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, to Banjo-Tooie, but still, these could be a lot better. And that's my biggest problem with the game by far, is just the fact that it can get very boring at times. So some things are alright, and a good amount of them are alright, but it's just, the game is just kind of boring. So, now let's talk about the presentation. The presentation is pretty lame. This game looks like a very late N64 game. And you know what? There are a lot of games on the N64 that look better than this game, like Banjo-Tooie and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on the PS2, the N64. This game could look a lot better. The character models don't look that good, and the cell shading on the game has aged horribly. Like, worse than Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. Some characters look way worse than others when it comes to character models, and Spongebob by far is the worst offender. The frame rate luckily never dropped on me, which was good. It was constant and kept going. Textures in this game look bad. They look N64 graphics, and in general, the whole game just looks subpar N64 graphics. You might say, oh, it's a SpongeBob game. What do you expect? Well, other SpongeBob games, like the one I'll review next, Battle for Bikini Bottom, look like modern GameCube-ish games, or around that time era. They look pretty good. This just looks bad. It just doesn't look good. Now for the sound. The music is actually cool in this game. There are only about 10 tracks, and most of them are pretty catchy. 2 or 3 of them, like the Jellyfish SpongeBob theme, are annoying, but most of them are alright. Especially when you're just SpongeBob, that is the best music in my opinion. And there's the voice acting, which has the real voice actors, and it's pretty good. It's on par with the show, well, at the time anyway. This was when SpongeBob wasn't crazy popular. And then there's the sound effects. The sound effects are wacky and SpongeBob-like, and they get the job done. And really, there's just not a whole lot to say about the sound effects. The sound, really, just in general, the sound does a good job, unlike the presentation, and it's overall pretty good. So, I know this has been a really weird, kind of short review, where I haven't really talked too much about the game, but to be honest, this SpongeBob game, in my opinion, compares nothing, and I mean nothing, to the other SpongeBob games. It was a good first SpongeBob game, but is a game on its own. It's just not that great. Some people think it's great, some people think it's absolute crap. I'm in between. I think it's okay. You might get little enjoyment out of it. It's literally like $1 at GameStop. I got it for $1.50. you get a good like 6 hours out of it. But really, it's kind of a boring game in general, and if you're a SpongeBob fan, you might like it. If you like platformers, I'd say probably just skip this one. Out of 10, I'm gonna give SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman a 6.9. No, I'll give it a 7. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. See you guys on my SpongeBob Alpha Bikini Bottom review, where it's a much better game. See ya.